Welcome to this explainer. Okay, have you ever looked at the file sizes on your phone or computer and felt like you were trying to read some kind of alien language? Megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. Honestly, tackling tech math can kind of feel like you need a secret decoder ring. But here's the best part. Once you have the master key, figuring out digital storage is literally as intuitive as counting your lunch money. Today, we're going to make you digital code breakers. We're going to completely demystify the units that measure digital information and translate all those mysterious numbers into total clarity. So let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for leveling up today. First, level 1, the basics. Then, level 2, the cheat codes. After that, level 3, real-world quests. And finally, the boss level, the golden rule. I promise you, by the end of this, you'll have the master keys to unlock exactly how digital information is measured. Okay, let's dive into this. Level 1, the basics. So at the very foundation of all digital data, we have the bit and the byte. Every single photo, every text message, every massive video game you play, it's all ultimately built from these tiny foundational blocks. And right here is the absolute first cheat code you need to memorize, the rule of 8. It's super simple. It just states that 1 byte equals exactly 8 bits. That's the whole rule. 8 tiny bits huddled together to form one single byte. Just lock that rule right into your memory. All right, let's test this out with what I like to call the bit-byte bounce. Here's your first mini quest. If you have 5 bytes of data, how many individual bits are packed inside? Just think about the rule of 8 for a second. Got it? Okay, applying the rule of 8, we just take those 5 bytes and simply multiply them by 8. And boom, that gives us 40 bits. It really is that easy. Huge congratulations, by the way. You just completely conquered level 1 and cracked the very first layer of the code. Let's move to and see how this builds. Level 2, the cheat codes. Now, what's really interesting about this cheat sheet is that it reveals the ultimate secret code governing the entire digital universe, the rule of 1024. You know, unlike the standard metric system, which uses neat round thousands, computer memory actually relies on the number 1024 to jump to the next size up. So 1 kilobyte, that's 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte is 1024 megabytes. And 1 massive terabyte is 1024 gigabytes. This right here is your master cheat sheet, so definitely take a mental snapshot of it. Let's actually put this brand new code to the test with the kilobyte kick. Imagine you've got a short little text file and it's exactly 2 kilobytes in size. How many individual bytes actually make up that file? Well, since we know 1 kilobyte is 1024 bytes, we just multiply 2 by 1024, which gives us exactly 2048 bytes. Honestly, it's pretty crazy how quickly data scales up, right? And just like that, level 2 is officially conquered. Moving right along, level 3, real-world quests. Because let's be real, knowing the math is only actually useful if you can apply it to your own devices. Okay, picture this. You're scrolling through a digital store and a brand new video game says it requires 4 gigabytes of storage space. To figure out if it'll actually fit on your drive, you kind of need to know exactly how many megabytes that is. So how do we convert it? We go straight back to our rule. We remember that 1 gigabyte equals exactly 1024 megabytes, right? So we simply multiply our 4 gigabytes by 1024. And that gives us 4096 megabytes. I know, these numbers can look a little intimidating at first glance, but they really just rely on a simple multiplier. See? Handling big numbers is a breeze when you know the secret code. All right, let's switch things up just a bit for this next quest. Let's use addition. Say you take 2 really high-quality photos on your smartphone, and each photo is exactly 512 kilobytes. If you put them together in a single folder, do they equal 1 full megabyte? Let's do the math. Adding 512 kilobytes and 512 kilobytes together gives us exactly 1024 kilobytes. And if we consult our framework from earlier, 1024 kilobytes perfectly equals 1 megabyte. So yes, the two halves combine beautifully to make the exact whole. Here's another real-world quest. Say you're cleaning up your computer's hard drive to free up some space, and you spot a video folder that's 2500 megabytes and a software folder that's 2 gigabytes. Which one is actually taking up more space? So the crucial point is that to compare sizes accurately, the units absolutely must have the exact same name. We really can't just compare megabytes and gigabytes directly without translating them first. And this brilliantly illustrates why we do that translation.
Converting those 2 gigabytes into megabytes gives us 2,048 megabytes. Now that we have a true apples-to-apples comparison of 2,500 megabytes versus 2,048 megabytes, it's totally clear that the 2,500 megabyte file is in fact the larger one.
All right, everyone, this is it. It is time for the final, ultimate level of our explainer journey. Are you ready to earn your master codebreaker status? Welcome to the boss level, the golden rule. Okay, here is the absolute ultimate pro tip to make sure you never make a conversion mistake again. When you're moving from a larger unit name, like terabytes, down to a smaller unit name, like gigabytes, you multiply by 1024. But, and this is key, when you're moving from a smaller unit name, like megabytes, up to a bigger unit name, like gigabytes, you divide by 1024. So again, big down to small, multiply. Small up to big, divide. Let's put this golden rule to the ultimate test against our boss level challenge. Imagine a massive network server packed with 2,048 gigabytes of files. If we want to state that massive size in terabytes, how exactly do we step up the ladder? Well, think about our rule. We're moving from a smaller unit, gigabytes, up to a larger unit, terabytes. And stepping up means we divide. So we take that 2,048 and we divide it by our magic constant, 1,024, which leaves us with exactly 2 terabytes. Absolutely incredible. By just knowing when to multiply and when to divide, you can literally navigate any digital file size out there. Congratulations, you have officially defeated the boss level and completely cracked the code of tech math. Now, before we completely wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one massive multi-step calculation challenge to test out your new leveled up skills on your own. Imagine you had a drive loaded with 5 terabytes of video games. How many megabytes would that be? Remember, you'll need to step down twice for this one. So apply the golden rule, use your multipliers, and let's see if you can crack that number. Thanks so much for leveling up with me today.